Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. Yeah, man. Sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about WWE Friday Night SmackDown for January the 21st, 2022. And also, we'll be talking about AEW Rampage for January the 21st, 2022. So yeah, man, so we're going to start off with SmackDown first because it came on first. So we're going to start with SmackDown. Now, with SmackDown, dude, it was not a good show, man. It's not a good show. Like with the matches and all that stuff, I did not care about it. It was so pointless. It was so pointless. The only thing that was important on this show was the Roman Reigns stuff. Anything involving Roman Reigns is the only thing important on this show. They need to do a better job at building other people up on this show so they could be on a Roman Reigns level. But yeah, man, the Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville stuff was super cringe, dude. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, dude, Johnny Knoxville in a Royal Rumble, like really? Like really? Over Mustafa Ali? Like really? Man, this stuff was bad, man. It was really bad. Now, the only thing about SmackDown, I will give this to SmackDown. The only thing that's good about SmackDown, not only Roman Reigns, but the fact that it's 2 hours. That's the only good things about SmackDown. But yeah, the Roman Reigns thing was the only thing important on this show. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens, and the Usos. Yeah, man. But yeah, that was SmackDown. So this is the first ever Friday Night SmackDown review on the Ryan Awesome Show. And sorry guys for my nose if I'm sounding stuffed. My nose is stuffed, so sorry if I sound any different. But yeah, man. So yeah, this is the SmackDown review for January the 21st, 2022. And yeah, man, I say this all the time in the intro. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Or if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, because I'm here each and every single week, man. And so yeah, man, so yeah. On SmackDown, they were live in Nashville, Tennessee. And so, yeah, so first off, man, we had the Usos. We had the Usos, who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That's Jimmy and Jey Uso. So they came out to the ring, and they spoke. And so, yeah, man, so I'm reading this off of Cage Side Seats. So, shout out to Cage Side Seats. And so, yeah, man, so we started off with the Usos. So they were in the ring. They talked about Roman Reigns being the longest reigning Universal Champion of all time at 508 days, longer than anybody else in history. So, yeah, so Roman Reigns had came out, and he told Nashville, he said, "Nashville, acknowledge me." And so, yeah, so, and then right after that, we had a video package. We had a video package from Roman Reigns' Universal title run, his dominant Universal title run. So yeah, so right after the video finished, Seth Rollins, he had came out. So Seth Rollins came out, he interrupted. And so Seth Rollins, he had the microphone, and he said that, they should celebrate the impending end of Roman Reigns' title reign, but also Reigns making an honest man out of him. And so yeah, so Rollins, he had said that the Usos also deserve to be celebrated as the longest reigning tag team champions, SmackDown tag team champions. Seth, he has said that, the only reason why Roman Reigns is where he is right now is because of the Usos. So they deserve to have all the credit too. And so, yeah, so Seth Rollins, he has said that the Usos hold Roman Reigns up just like Seth Rollins and Moxley did. And he did mention John Moxley by name. He said Mox. So he said that the Usos held up Reigns just like he and Mox did in the Shield. And so yeah, so Roman Reigns, this is funny right here, man. This is funny. Roman Reigns, he had asked Seth Rollins, did John Cena write that promo up for you? Yeah, that was funny, man. So yeah, so Seth, he had told him to put his money where his mouth is, and he'll wrestle the Usos tonight with a partner. So he's gonna pick a partner. So Seth has said if he wins, then the Usos will be banned from ringside at the Royal Rumble. And so the Usos, they had said that nobody is crazy enough to tag team with Seth Rollins. And so yeah, and they said that the Usos, they weren't worried about it. They weren't worried about it. And so yeah, so Kevin Owens, his music had played. So Kevin Owens had came out. And so Reigns, he had said that you know at first, if you saw the look on Roman Reigns' face when the Usos had accepted the match, he didn't like that. He wasn't happy about that. And so yeah, so Reigns, he was like, okay, I'll let the tag team match happen, but in one condition: if you lose, Seth Rollins, then the Universal title match that you have against me is off. It's canceled. And so yeah, and then he said he'll take a vacation. Not only will it be canceled, but I'm gonna be taking a vacation up until WrestleMania. And so yeah, and that was it, man. That was it with that. So that was the main event tonight. That was the main event tonight. And so yeah, man. With this whole entire segment, I like Seth Rollins. I like Kevin Owens. Like them showing up on SmackDown. Like I was like, man, why are they here on SmackDown? Like if they're gonna show up on SmackDown, you gotta end the brand split. That's the thing. You gotta end the brand split for these guys to show up on any show they want. And then like I had to hear Michael Cole on commentary say that, oh well, it's the Royal Rumble season, which means you're gonna see the top stars from Raw and SmackDown show up on each other's shows. And I was like, dude, that's not a good enough excuse. Just end the brand split. That's all you gotta do is just end it. I don't know why they don't just end it. I know the real reason on why they're not gonna end the brand split, but like, dude, why aren't they ending it? Like, please end the brand split. Like, you don't have no competition on either shows. We see nothing but rematches all the time, over and over and over again. Like like it's old, man. It's getting old. It's already gotten old, man. It's already gotten old. But yeah, man. And so yeah, at that point, like when they made the match with the Usos and Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens at the time, when I was watching it live, I was like, man, why are they making this tag team match? Why are they making a tag team match with the Usos, who are the SmackDown tag team champions, against Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, knowing, like none of these teams can lose. So why are they booking the match, knowing that none of these teams can lose? The Usos can't lose because they're the SmackDown tag team champions, and Seth Rollins can't lose either because he's going up against Roman Reigns. So at the time, I was like, man, why are they booking this match? You know, but at the end of the night, they ended up making the right decision by not having them lose. Like not, they lost. Yeah, they still lost, but they didn't lose clean. They didn't get pinned or they didn't tapped out. So that's the one thing I did like about it. But at the time, I didn't like it. I didn't like it because none of these guys can lose. But yeah, man. But yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, that was the main event tonight. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins versus the Usos. And if the Usos won the match, then Seth Rollins' title match is off. And if Seth Rollins wins, then the Usos are banned from ringside at the Royal Rumble. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a match. So this is our first match of the night. We had Madcap Moss with Happy Corbin in his corner versus Kofi Kingston or Sir Kofi Kingston. And so yeah, so first off, man, we had Madcap Moss and Corbin. They spoke, and then Matt Moss, Madcap Moss, he had said a terrible joke about Kofi Kingston. And so Kofi Kingston had came out. He introduced Big E in his corner. Kofi didn't say anything, so he just came out, and then Big E's music had hit. So Big E is ringside with Kofi Kingston. So Big E, another member of Monday Night Raw, coming up on SmackDown. And so yeah, so we had a match. So yeah, so Madcap Moss versus Kofi Kingston. So yeah, man. So Corbin at one point got involved in the match, and then Big E had took out Corbin. Big E did, and then Madcap Moss hit a spine buster to Kingston. Kofi Kingston hit a diving hurricanrana to Moss, and so Moss had hit a version of a uranage to Kingston, and he kicked out. And so to end the match, man, we had Kofi Kingston. He had a trouble in paradise to Moss to win the match. So therefore, Sir Kofi Kingston was the match. And so yeah, so right after the match, man, we had Corbin. He tried to attack Kofi Kingston, but Big E stepped in Corbin's way and hit a big ending to Moss, and that was it. Did not care, man. And then we saw this thing. We saw this thing last week. We saw this match last week. So with Madcap Moss winning last week, and now Kofi Kingston win this week, so 50-50 booking, dude. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And speaking of rematches, we had another rematch. We had Aliyah versus Natalya. And so yeah, man. So first off, man, before the match even started, man, we had Summer Rae. They showed Summer Rae in a crowd who's in a Royal Rumble match, and she was in the crowd, and so the ring announcer had introduced her as a WWE legend. As a WWE legend, dude. As a WWE legend. I was like, what? A WWE legend? A WWE legend? Really? Like, when I think of legends, man, when I think of legends, I think of China, Jazz, Trish Stratus, Lita, Beth Phoenix, Mickey James. Those are legends. That's what I think of. Legends. That's what I think of. You know. But Summer Rae, a legend? No, hell no. What exactly has she done that was legendary in the WWE? Nothing. She's done nothing. She hasn't won any championships. She done nothing memorable. So therefore, she's not a legend. She's not a legend. She's not, dude. So it's just like them saying that Alicia Fox is a legend. You know, that has done nothing legendary. So just because you've been in a company years ago doesn't make you a legend. It doesn't. It does not make you a legend. And yeah, this rematch, Natalya, she got disqualified in the match because she didn't listen to the referee's 5 count. And so Aliyah had won the match by disqualification. And so right after the match, we had Natalya. She went to go attack Aliyah, and so we had Xia Li. She came out to her music, and she attacked Natalya, and that was pretty much it. So really didn't care about this either, man. Like with Xia Li, man, I don't know what they doing with her, man. But her entrance, dude, I loved her entrance in NXT, man. When it was Su Young and not Su Young, my God, Mei Ying. We had Mei Ying and Boa. I like it when it was just those three. Like when she first came in, when she was first repackaged in NXT, I loved it, dude. I loved it. But now, no. And then they changed it up too. They calling her the Protector and all that stuff. And then she coming out to the ring, and you see the CGI with the lightning bolts and all that stuff, like swinging her sword around or whatever she have in her hand. No, man, no. Like she pretty much did the same thing when she made her debut. Man, yeah, do not care. Do not care. The women's division on Raw and SmackDown are trash. Are trash. And these people, you have people that want the women to main event Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, or have an all women's show, and they don't even have a great women's division. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had a tag team match, and it was Los Lotharios. That's Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo versus the Viking Raiders. So that's Erik and Ivar. So yeah, man. So both of these teams they were going back and forth, and then the Lotharios had took control of the match, and we had a hot tag to Ivar. He took out the Lotharios, and so we had a powerbomb, world strongest slam combo to the Lotharios from Erik. And so to end the match, man, we had the Viking Experience. The Viking Experience. It's the Thor's Hammer, man. Thor's Hammer. That's a better name for it, man. That was their tag team finishing move in NXT. The Thor's Hammer. They changed it to the freaking Viking Experience. Terrible name, dude. It's the Thor's Hammer, so they hit the Thor's Hammer to Humberto to win the match. So therefore, the Viking Raiders, the War Raiders, man, the War Raiders win the match. And so yeah, so that was it with that. So the Viking Raiders, I believe they are the number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I believe so. So yeah, so they had to get that win. So yeah, so they won. So good on them for winning the match. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a match, a women's match, and it was Naomi versus Charlotte Flair, who is the SmackDown Women's Champion. And so yeah, so this is a championship contenders match. And so yeah, man, every time I hear that phrase, man, of that match, the more and more it pisses me off, dude. Like it really does. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing it, man. Championships contenders match. And then usually in these matches, they have the champion lose. They have the champion lose the match, and then the person that beat the champion becomes the number one contender and all that stuff. And like I always ask this question, like, why do we need a champions contenders match? Why we need a championship contenders match instead of having a number one contenders match? How about we do a number one contenders match instead of having this championship contenders match? Have two challenges, have two people go up against each other, and then the winner of that match gets the champion. How hard is that? How hard is that? They make everything so difficult, man. But yeah, but the bright side of this match, the bright side of this match is that at least the champion did not lose. At least Charlotte Flair did not lose as the champion. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Charlotte Flair, I think she's overrated. I think she's overrated. You know, if she wasn't a Flair, she'll be a complete nobody. That's just my opinion. It's just a fact, man. It's not even an opinion. It's a fact. If her last name wasn't Flair, she'll be a nobody, man. She's overrated. She's living off her father's coattails. But yeah, man. But yeah, this match never should have happened, man. Never should have happened. Naomi, she already lost. She already lost to Charlotte Flair that first time. Didn't she? Yeah, didn't she lose to Charlotte Flair? Match never should have happened. You know, because man, Naomi, I like Naomi, but dude, she's been screwed over time and time again. So why does she need to be in the ring with the champion? That's my thing. But yeah, man. So Sonya Deville had came out. She got the referee out of his shirt, literally robbed the dude out of his shirt, his referee shirt, and put the referee shirt on herself. And so yeah, so she made herself the referee of the match. And so Flair, she took advantage off of Naomi being distracted by Sonya Deville and all that stuff. And so, you know, Charlotte tried to go for the figure eight on Naomi, but Naomi had kicked Charlotte Flair into Sonya Deville, knocking her out of the ring. And so yeah, so Naomi hit her finishing move, the rear view to Flair, but Sonya, she did not get back into the ring to make the count. And so yeah, so Naomi, she was pissed off and everything, and so Charlotte Flair hit a chop block from behind to Naomi. I don't know how she got up after that. After this lady hit a finishing move on you, but yeah, man. And so yeah, so Charlotte, she had locked in a figure eight to Naomi, and so or the figure four. She locked in the figure four, and then she locked in the figure four, and then Sonya Deville had called for the bell. Making Charlotte Flair the winner, even though Naomi didn't tap out. So Naomi did not tap out. You know, which means Charlotte Flair win the match. So Charlotte Flair wins the match. Sonya Deville had called for the bell as soon as that figure four was locked in. That was it, man. That was it, man. Poor Naomi, dude. Poor Naomi, man, dude. And like, dude, with this storyline, they still haven't even given us a reason on why they feuding with each other. Like, even the commentary team called it out. Called it out. Like, why is she going after Naomi? Why? What's a problem with Naomi? That's the most important question in the story. Like, why? And we still haven't even gotten it. We should have already gotten it as soon as she started beefing with Naomi. Should have already gotten it. But yeah, we never gotten it. Never gotten it. And so yeah, so that was it with that. And so yeah, the more and more they play this out, man, like the less and less I care about it. They need to go ahead and end it already, man. It's like put Naomi with the bloodline already, please. Put her with the bloodline. Like, please already, man. I'm getting sick and tired of it, man. Of her not, because at first it was her not doing anything, and now she's in something, and now I'm starting to not care about it anymore. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Kayla Braxton. She interviews Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. And so yeah, man. So once again, I'm reading this off of Cage Side Seats. So shout out to Cage Side Seats for the dialogue. Kevin Owens, he has said if it wasn't for the Usos, he be the longest reigning Universal Champion of all time. But the Usos had kept it from happening. So the thought of that happening to his best friends tears him up inside. And so yeah, so Seth, he has said that he knows the stakes are huge, but the risk is worth the reward. And so yeah, and so Seth, he has said, can he beat Roman Reigns with the Usos by his side? Probably, but alone. And so yeah, so three things are certain in life. So yeah, so Seth, he has said three things are certain in life: death, taxes, and Seth Rollins beating Roman Reigns. And so yeah, so that was it with that. That was it with the interview. And so yeah, so right after this, man, we had Zayn. So we had Zayn featuring Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, who re-signed with the WWE. So yeah, with this talk show, man, with the talk show or his show, And Zayn, we had Sami Zayn. He had like weapons on a table that was in the ring, so they had like weapons in the ring and all that stuff. And so yeah, so yeah, he pulled out a one of those a cattle prod. I think that's what it's called, a cattle prod. And so he took the cattle prod, he turned it on, like he turned it on, quote unquote, turned it on. And so he shocked himself. He shocked himself with the cattle prod, you know, and then he tried to he tried to up the level. He tried to level up the cattle prod or the voltage on the cattle prod, and so he shocked himself again. And he was playing it like he actually got shocked and all that stuff. And so Johnny Knoxville had came out, and and they were fighting over the cattle prod and all that stuff. And so Johnny Knoxville, he was like, you know, is like, dude, it's not even on. The cattle prod is not even on. And so yeah, and then he shocked Sami Zayn. Kayfabe shocked Sami Zayn. And so yeah, so Sami Zayn, he was screaming and all that stuff, screaming in agony, you know, because he got shocked by this cattle prod. And so yeah, so Johnny Knoxville, he had grabbed Sami Zayn and threw him over the top rope, just like he did the last time. And so that was it, man. That was it. Cringe, dude. Absolutely cringe. The fact that Johnny Knoxville is in the Royal Rumble is freaking cringe. You have a non-wrestler in the Royal Rumble competing for a spot for a main event title shot at WrestleMania. And you have a guy like Mustafa Ali not competing in the Royal Rumble. Not even in the Royal Rumble. Not even getting the opportunity. Not even getting the opportunity at all, man. Not even getting a chance to showcase his talent. Like, yeah, Mustafa Ali, he asked for his release. He wasn't even granted his release. He wasn't even granted his release. You have people that have been released and they didn't even want to leave. You have people that do want to be released, but they not released. But you have people that don't want to go anywhere. They get released. Like, dude, this stuff don't make any sense, dude. It don't make any sense. And Sami Zayn resigned with the company. Sami Zayn resigned with the company. And this is what he resigns for. I don't know. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. That was it with that. So yeah, so right after that, man, we had Adam Pearce. He was backstage and he was talking to Eric Bischoff. He's talking to Eric Bischoff. This guy again. So yeah, so Eric Bischoff, he was talking to Adam Pearce about running the TV show, running SmackDown and Raw, and talking about leadership and all that stuff. And so Sonya Deville, she had came in, and then Adam Pearce had introduced Sonya Deville to Eric Bischoff. Adam Pearce, he had told Sonya Deville that she was completely over the line with her refereeing tonight. Adam Pearce had told Sonya Deville that her issue with Naomi needs to stop because it's affecting their leadership or her leadership. So Pearce, he had said that he's going to suggest to upper management that the two of them should have a match next week. Sonya Deville has said, okay, just let me know what they say. And so yeah, she left after that. And so Bischoff had told Adam Pearce, like, great leadership, man, great leadership. And so that was it with that. That was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Sheamus. We had Sheamus with Ridge Holland in his corner. So welcome back, Ridge Holland versus Ricochet. And so yeah, with this, like with Ricochet, I don't know why they changed his theme song. Like, why do you need to change his song? Like, his song was so perfect, dude, in NXT. Like the song, it was so epic. Like, why did you need to change it? Like, the song that he has right now is freaking garbage, dude. It's so generic. Like, it's nothing. It's nothing compared to his NXT song. His NXT song was so perfect. Like, why do you need to change it? But yeah, man, Ricochet, man. So yeah, so both of these guys, they're going back and forth. Sheamus hit an Irish Curse backbreaker to Ricochet, and then he hit his 10 beats on the Bowdering to Ricochet. And then Ricochet started fighting back. He hit a springboard dropkick to Sheamus. And then we had a knee strike to Ricochet in midair off of a tope suicida. And so to end the match, man, we had Sheamus. He had the bro kick to Ricochet to win the match. So therefore, Sheamus wins the match. And so yeah, that was it with that, man. I wish they could book Ricochet better, man. Like, please get him some wins. Please get him some wins. Like, give him some wins and send him after a title, man. Like, this dude is way too talented to be wasted, dude. Way too talented. Like, he wasn't doing anything on Raw, and he not even doing anything on SmackDown. Like, nothing. Like, the same energy that they put in Roman Reigns and the Usos and the top guys, they need to put it in Ricochet and all these other people too, man. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. They were in the back and they ran into Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett, and so yeah, Jeff Jarrett, who was on GCW recently, man. And so yeah, so they introduced themselves to Jeff Jarrett, and so yeah, so Rick Boogs had introduced himself to Jeff Jarrett, and he spelled his name out. Or Jeff Jarrett, he had asked Rick Boogs, "Can you spell your name out?" And so Rick Boogs went to go spell his name out, and so he got cut off by the show. He got cut off, and so yeah, that was pretty much it with that. Now, before we get into the main event, let's talk about next week's show for SmackDown. So yeah, so for next week we have the New Day. So that's Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. You know, I didn't care about the Kofi Kingston versus Madcap Moss match, so why should I care about a tag team match with the New Day and Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin? And then we have Naomi versus Sonya Deville, and that's it. Those are our matches that are announced for next week. And so yeah, man. So now the main event, which is the best thing on the show, the main event, we had the Usos, who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That's Jimmy and Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins, who is the number one contender. And so yeah, once again in this the stipulation in this match, if Seth Rollins wins the match, and the Usos are banned from ringside at the Royal Rumble. So if the Usos wins the match, then that means that the title match that Seth Rollins have against Roman Reigns is called off, is canceled. And so yeah, man. So Rollins, he tried to end the match quickly by giving the Usos roll ups and all that stuff. And so the Usos, they took back control of the match, and we had a hot tag to Owens. He took out the Usos, hit a cannonball to Jimmy, and then Jimmy, he had blocked Owens' senton bomb by getting the knees up. And so yeah, and then Jay, he had gave Owens a super kick outside of the ring, and we had a hot tag to Rollins. He took out Jay with a sling blade, and so we had a tope suicida to the Usos from Rollins, which was smooth. And so yeah, and so we had a diving knee to Jay from Rollins, and he kicked out. And we had a pop up Samoan drop to Rollins from the Usos, and Rollins had kicked out. And then Owens hit the pop up powerbomb to Jimmy, and Jimmy kicked out. And so Kevin Owens, he had a avalanche fisherman's buster to Jimmy, a avalanche fisherman's buster to Jimmy. And so Jay, he had broke up the pin, and then Owens, he had a stunner to Owens had hit a stunner to Jay, and then Jimmy had super kick Owens, and then Seth had gave Jimmy a curb stomp. And so yeah, and right out of nowhere, man, we had Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, came out and gave Rollins a Superman punch for the disqualification. So therefore, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens wins the match by disqualification. So yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it. And so the match is still on. So the match against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns is still on. The match was great, man. The match was great. Match was great. Even though at the time I said that this match didn't make any sense, you know, at least the champions did not get pinned. At least they did not get pinned. Yes, they lost, but they lost by a disqualification. I'd much rather lose by a disqualification than get pinned or submitted. That if I had to lose. But yeah, if I had to lose it, I'm the champion. But yeah, man. But at least they did not get pinned. At least they did not get pinned. But yeah, the match was predictable. By the way, it was predictable. There was no way that Seth Rollins was gonna lose this match. There was no way Rollins was gonna lose. And so yeah, man. But yeah, the Usos, they were gonna lose regardless. They were gonna lose regardless, bro. But yeah, man, that was it with that. That was it with SmackDown. This show was not good at all. Was not good. Was not good. So yeah, but the only thing good about this show, the only thing good about SmackDown is Roman Reigns and the Usos, the Bloodline. That's the only thing that is good about SmackDown is the Bloodline and the fact that it's 2 hours long. That's the only good thing about SmackDown. But yeah, man. But yeah, that was it with SmackDown. And yeah, man, that was it with SmackDown. And now we're gonna start with AEW Rampage. We're gonna start with AEW Rampage right after this quick break. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of the Ryan Awesome Show. And now in the second half of the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about AEW Rampage for January the 21st, 2022. Now, yeah, with this show, man, great show, man. Really good show. We had Moxley making his in-ring return against Ethan Page. And, you know, after the match, what happened after the match was really cool, man. We had Bryan Danielson going face to face with Jon Moxley in the crowd. They were face to face, and so Bryan, he applauded Mox, and so that could be a potential match, and I cannot wait. when it does happen, man. And yeah, man. Now this match right here, I would have put this at the main event. I would have put this as the main event and switched the women's match. Probably had the women's match open the show and have the Paige and Moxley match in the show. That's just my opinion. Because just based off of what happened after the match with Moxley and Bryan. And like Bryan versus a Moxley, bro. Like, dude, who doesn't want to see that match? Who don't want to see that match? Man, I'm telling you, man, that is a big deal. Bryan versus Moxley, dude. Yes, would love to see it. And that's why I'm saying that should have closed out the show. That should have closed out the show. Not taking anything away from the women's match, the TBS title match. It was good. The match was good, but it never should have been the main event. It never should have been the main event. I would have put the Mox versus Page match at the end of the show because Moxley, dude, just came back. Dude just came back, and I would have much rather have the show close out with Moxley and Bryan staring face to face. That would have been a perfect ending to a show. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with Rampage, man. Unlike SmackDown, this was a good show. This is a good show. This show is better than SmackDown. But yeah, man. Not tonight, last night, because I'm recording this on Saturday morning. So yeah, man. So AEW Rampage, just like Impact Wrestling, it's a tape show. So they were live in Washington D.C., taped in Washington D.C. So yeah, man. So our first match of the night, we had Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page, All Ego Ethan Page, and so this was a really good match, man. And so yeah, man. So both of these guys, they were trading strikes, and then Page he knocked Moxley out of the ring at one point with a shoulder tackle. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were fighting by the timekeeper's table. And then when Moxley had landed on a timekeeper's table, or yeah, Page he had put Moxley on the timekeeper's table. The table had broke. And so yeah, so Mox, he fought back. He had threw Page into the guardrail. And so Page he went right after Moxley's knees. And so Page he had to control the match at that point. And so Moxley fought back. He had a German suplex to Page. And so both of these guys, they were going back and forth with strikes. And then Moxley hit a lariat to Page. And then Page hit a brain buster to Moxley, and he kicked out. And then Moxley hit a tope suicida to Page. And then we had an avalanche power slam to Moxley. And so, yeah, man. So Page, he was going for the cover. But Moxley, he had reversed the cover. And he started giving Page elbow strikes and knee strikes to the face. And so to end the match, man, we have Jon Moxley. He had locked in the bulldog choke. A bulldog choke to Page to win the match. So therefore, Page, he didn't tap out. He passed out. And so, yeah. And so right after the match, Ethan Page, he was getting up right after that. He was getting up right after he got choked out by Moxley with that bulldog choke. And so Moxley had gave him a paradigm shift. And so at that point, I was like, what? I was like, why is he getting up from a move like that? From the bulldog choke? You just no-sold the move. Like, dude, you didn't tap out. You passed out to lose the match, and then you get right back up and take a paradigm shift. That part didn't make any sense. But yeah, man. So Moxley after Moxley gave Page a paradigm shift, he walked in the crowd, like he usually does. He walked in the crowd, and so Bryan Danielson was behind him, and so Moxley had turned around, and so both of these guys were face to face, and Bryan he applauded Moxley. And so Moxley, he had walked away. And so that was pretty much it. And so, yeah, man, just like what I said earlier, man, I would love to see Moxley versus a Bryan, man. Would love to see Moxley versus Bryan. And, yeah, they had matches before, man. They had matches before, of course, in WWE, in the Shield, when Moxley was in the Shield. And, when Bryan was fighting against the Authority in the Shield and all that stuff. Yeah, that was some great stuff, man. Once again, man, it's great to see Jon Moxley back. I'm glad he's back and healthy. And yeah, man. And so yeah, and then another thing, man, screw Bully Ray. Bully Ray is a freaking idiot, dude. He is a complete idiot about what he said about Jon Moxley. What he said about Jon Moxley. Him coming back to AEW. Like he made a comment saying that Jon Moxley should have apologized, saying that Jon Moxley should have apologized to the fans and all that stuff, to the AEW fans for missing the shows and all that stuff. And, he thought that Jon Moxley should have apologized. And I was like, apologize for what? What is he that he had to apologize for? What for taking time off, for requesting time off so he can, you know, because he was going through addiction. Dude was going through addiction, so that's why he asked for time off to get healthy. So why does he have to apologize? What is he apologizing for? And he got slammed for it too, man. He got slammed for it too. Bully Ray did. Renee Paquette, John Moxley's wife, had called him out, saying it was a bad take, and it was a bad take. Paige had called him out. Mick Foley, I think, called him out. There was a lot of people that called Bully Ray out, man, for that terrible. What a terrible thing to say, dude. What a terrible thing to say, dude. But yeah, a complete idiot. Bully Ray is a complete idiot. And so yeah, man, this dude just trying to relive his glory days. That's all he trying to do. He don't have nothing better to do but trash other people. Just like Jim Cornette. Just like Jim Cornette, always trashing somebody else. To try to get extra views. That's all he doing. But yeah, a complete idiot. Bully Ray is. But yeah, that was it with that, man. And that's my thoughts on what Bully Ray, the idiotic statement from Bully Ray. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And bully is in his name. He's a bully. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had Nick Jackson with Matt Jackson and Brandon Cutler in his corner versus Trent Beretta with Orange Cassidy in his corner. So yeah, so this match was supposed to be a tag team match. It was supposed to be Roppongi Vice, so that's Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta versus the Bucks. But Rocky Romero, he tested positive for COVID-19, so they had to cancel the match, and so they changed it to a one-on-one match between Nick Jackson and Trent Beretta. Now this match, this was a great match, dude. This is a really great match. So yeah, man, both of these guys were going back and forth, and then Nick, he had went right after Trent's neck, and then Nick had took control of the match at that point. And then Trent, he had blocked Nick's senton bomb, and so we had a deadlift German suplex to Nick, followed up by a running knee strike to Nick, and he kicked out. And we had a spear to Nick outside the ring, and then Trent had hit a tornado DDT to Nick, which was beautiful, man. And then Nick had kicked out of the move, and so at one point, Nick, he had pulled the referee into the way to try to get in Trent's way. And so yeah, so Nick had hit a Canadian Destroyer to Trent, and he kicked out. And then Nick had hit a running Bulldog to Trent, and we had a half and half suplex to Nick, followed up by a lariat to Nick. And so Trent had hit a power driver to Nick, and he kicked out. And then we had a senton bomb to Nick, senton bomb to Trent on a ramp, which sounded like it hurt. And so we had a 450 splash to Trent, and he kicked out. And I was like, what? Like what? And so yeah, man. So Nick, he had super kicked Trent, and so to end the match, we had a strong zero. So we had Trent, he had his finishing move, the strong zero to Nick to win the match. So therefore, Trent Beretta wins the match, and that was it, man. Great match, great back and forth, dude. And the right person did win this match. The right person did win this match. The best friends, they need to get some wins, man. Because the elite, members of the elite, they've been beating the best friends. Like the best friends been losing time and time again to the elite. And members of the best friends been losing to members of the elite. So it was time for the best friends to get some wins. And so Trent Beretta got his win. And Orange Cassidy, he's going to get his win against Adam Cole in that Lights Out match. So yeah, man. So yeah, so that was pretty much it with that. And then right after this, we had our next match, man. We had Serpentico versus Hook, representing Team Taz. So yeah, man, the crowd going crazy as always for Hook, man. Hook is over, man. Hook is really over. I love Hook, man. Really great, man. Hook is the freaking future, man. He is the future of AEW. You want to talk about the pillars of AEW, man? Put Hook up there. So yeah, man. So Hook, he went right after Serpentico, right before the belt even rung, dude. And so yeah, so Hook, he felt like he was disrespected by Serpentico because Serpentico, his whole thing with the streamers and all that stuff during his entrance, he did the streamers and all that. And so Hook, he was pissed off, man. And so he went right after Serpentico. And so Hook, the entire match, he freaking pounded this guy, man. Serpentico. He pounded Serpentico. And Serpentico, he didn't even get a chance to take off his jacket. He didn't get a chance to take off his jacket. And so yeah, so Hook, he hit overhead belly to belly suplex. And so to end the match, man, Hook, he had locked in his finishing move or his submission move, the Redrum, to Serpentico to win the match. So Serpentico, he tapped out. And so yeah, so right after the match, man, we had QT Marshall. QT Marshall, he came out and he was talking smack to Hook. Hook tried to walk away. And, QT Marshall, with his bowling ball T-shirt or his bowling ball shirt. He was talking to Hook, and he kept berating Hook, talking trash to him, and so Hook had gave him a suplex, and so yeah, that was pretty much it with that. I have the video right here.
That's his former T-shirt. Now, huh? Like last time, you're gonna try to sucker punch me, huh? You're gonna try. I'm ready now. I ain't no judge.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
That's a tough landing right there, QT.
He walked over him.
And the walkover.
And that was it, man. That was it with Hook. So yeah, that was pretty much it with that, man. Hook is the man, and as I said before, man, Hook is the future of AEW. And so yeah, and somebody actually had a sign. Actually had a sign that said, "Give Hook a TNT title match." One day it will happen, dude. Can you imagine Hook as the TNT champion? Oh my God, dude. Yes. But yeah, it's too early for Hook to get a championship match. He will get a championship match one day, but now it's not the time. He got to get some more wins. But yeah, man. So that was it with Hook. Before we get into the main event, let's talk about next week's show. We'll talk about next week's show, Beach Break. So Beach Break, we have our TNT Championship ladder match. Winner will be the undisputed TNT champion. So it's Cody Rhodes, the TNT champion, versus Sammy Guevara, who is the interim TNT champion. And so yeah, and also on Beach Break, CM Punk, he speaks. And then also we have a trios match. We have Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz, the Inner Circle, versus Daniel Garcia and 2.0. So that's Jeff Parker and Matt Lee. And also we will hear from Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who is the AEW Women's World Champion, on Beach Break. And also we have a match. We have Red Velvet versus Legit Layla Hirsch on Wednesday. And also in our main event, which I'm guessing is the main event, it has to be the main event, we have a lights out match. So it's going to be Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. So yeah, man. So that's it for Beach Break. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we have Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Mark Henry interviews Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling in her corner and Anna Jay with John Silver in her corner. So this was split screen.
Thanks, guys. Jade Cargill, you are
24-0, baby.
and the TBS champion.
The first TBS champ.
How do you feel about your competition tonight?
Anna Banana? Let's just make this about me. I am undefeated, baby, and I am the first TBS champ. Anna should be elated that she has a spot on the main event.
Jade, let me warn you one more time. I have a dark side to me. The street fights changed me. I choke people out. Tonight, TBS stands for that bitch Flair.
So, Anna, you better bring that barbed wire with you tonight.
Oh, I don't need a thing.
I don't have ribbons.
Ladies, there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event.
And so yeah, man, so that was it. So let's get into the main event. So the main event was for the TBS Championship. Is it a TBS Championship or the TBS Women's Championship? But yeah, I think they call it the TBS Championship. But yeah, it should be called a TBS Women's Championship because, the women are only competing for that title. But yeah, man. So yeah, so it was Anna Jay with John Silver in her corner versus Jade Cargill, who is the TBS Women's Champion, with Smart Mark Sterling in her corner. And so yeah, man, this was a good match, but should have never been the main event. I would have put this in the in the beginning of the show, or have it open the show. But yeah, man, yeah, Jade Cargill, she took control of the match. And then at one point we had Jade Cargill and John Silver. They got in each other's faces, and so they were flexing in each other's faces. And so yeah, so Jade had took back control of the match. Right after they got finished posing, we had Anna Jay. She freaking leveled Jade Cargill with an elbow strike right in her face, man. And so yeah, so Jade, she had took back control of the match, and then Anna, she started to fight back. And then Anna, she had hit a flatliner to Jade. And then Mark, he had got on the ring apron. And so, yeah, man, to try to distract Anna Jay. And so, yeah, man, so John Silver, he had took out Mark Sterling with a brain buster on the floor. And so he had a pump kick to Anna. And so, yeah, so Anna, so Jade Cargill tried to go for the finishing move, but Anna, she had blocked it. And then she locked in a submission move, the Queen Slayer. And then Jay, she had overpowered the Queen Slayer. Anna Jay, she had locked in the Queen Slayer on Jay on the top rope. And so yeah, so to end the match, man, we had Jade Cargill. She had a one-arm power bomb, followed up by her finishing move that jaded to Anna Jay to win the match. So therefore, Jade Cargill wins the match and is still the TBS champion. And yeah, right after the match, they showed a graphic of her on the screen that said 25-0. Since she was 24-0, now she's 25-0. And so they showed it on the graphic on the Titantron. And so yeah, so that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with the show. And yeah, man, good show, good show. You know, I would have put in the Moxley and Page match at the end of the show and had this match, the Jay and the Anna Jay match, start off the show. That's what I would have done. You know, based off of what happened after the Moxley and Page match with Bryan Danielson and John Moxley face to face. That would have been a perfect ending to the show. Would have been a perfect ending to the show. And plus, John Moxley just came back, dude, after being gone for 3 months. So yeah, man, that's what I would have went. That's the way I would have went, dude. But yeah, man. Yep, that was it, man. That was it with the show, man. Really good show. And yeah, man, and that was it with both the reviews, man. That was it with the SmackDown review for January the 21st, 2022, and AEW Rampage review for January the 21st, 2022. And so yeah, man. If you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, or if you're watching New Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here each and every single week, man. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about SmackDown, and tell me how you felt about AEW Rampage. And yeah, man, share this video with each and every single person that you come across. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for all the love and the support for the show. Thank you, and thank you, man. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. And yeah, man, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.